Hello everybody, this is Doll Dazzler and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys another doll out of my doll collection. This particular doll I'm going to need some help from you guys in helping me identify who this little doll is. I did a lot of research on older dolls and I'm just not able to correctly put a name to this doll. There are some characteristics about her that date her, and you'd think that would help a little bit, but there's so many dolls that were made kind of like her that it makes it very hard to know who might have made her and what her name might be. As far as I know, she doesn't have any markings on her at all. She possibly has a faint marking on her back that I will show to you guys. But I'm going to go through a couple things with everybody, and hopefully somebody out there can help me give her a name. So she is made out of composition. She's a strung doll. A strung doll and made out of composition, and that already dates her to the 1930s and the 1940s. They quit making composition, I believe, at the end of the 1940s, so she wouldn't be any newer than that. She also has tin eyes, and tin eyes didn't last for very long, but I do believe that would even date her back to the 1930s. I think that they changed over from tin eyes. I don't quote me on that, but I think that by the start of the 40s, mid 40s, possibly no later than that, they started making different eyes. So her wig is made out of that typical mohair, and it is a wig. It's on her very, very well. There's nothing, there's actually, other than the little bit of crazing and cracking that's going on the doll, there's nothing the matter with her. I think the tin eyes give dolls a little bit of, I don't know, makes them a little bit scary and creepy, but she's very, very cute little doll. So her hair, I don't believe it has had sustained any haircut, but it's definitely out of its original hairstyle, and it appears that it would have possibly been in some pigtails off to the side, and because it is split there how they made the wig, and so I haven't messed with it a whole lot. She's a very old doll, so I really don't want to mess with her a lot. But she is strung, so her arms and her legs move independently from each other. She's not a walker doll. And even her stringing is still very much intact. A little bit in her arms, probably could use a little bit of tightening. So I don't know, after that much time, if that would still be the original stringing inside, or if somebody has redone her. Her little dress is just really cute. I think that that is probably original as well. It's definitely vintage. It has one of those older snaps, and I talk about this a lot in my videos, where with clothing you can definitely date clothing because of the transition from snaps and zippers to Velcro. So there's no Velcro on this doll. There's no on her dress at all. It is that one individual snap on the back. And then she also has her little pantaloons that go with it. And her pantaloons look a little bit large, but I still think that they belong to this dress. This dress is not that much bigger. I guess it could be a little bit big on her, so it may not be original, but it's definitely an older dress. It has sustained a little bit of possible sun damage, but I don't believe that it would have been a white dress. I think that it's an ivory dress, but it looks like they had displayed her and it got a little bit of sun damage. And there might have been something here in the front as well, like a bow or something, because it looks like there might have been like a metal, there's residue off of maybe something metal going through and holding on a bow or something of that nature. But it's very, very cute little dress. The lace that's on it And then her socks and shoes. Now, those are definitely old shoes. I would say that they're probably original to her. Even the ribbons in them are showing age from sun damage or just over time, maybe how they stored it. But the socks too, they've lost a little bit of their elasticity, and they're definitely got a little bit of sun damage going on. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with them. I don't know that there's anything that I can do with the sun damage, but I've just left her completely alone. I did purchase this doll from the antique store, and she was such a good price that I couldn't pass it up. And I do believe they probably sold her cheap because of the cracking that's going on. And in composition dolls, this was something that happened because of the moisture that causes these dolls to expand and contract over time. They're pressed together by, well, this one's probably sawdust and a glue. And so if it gets any moisture on it, it causes cracks, not necessarily through the paint all the way, because I can see she's not had any restoration done either. So you can see that it's starting to head into the composition. My dolls now they're actually, I keep them in a temperature controlled room, so that cracking does not continue. But once it starts, it's pretty, it gets pretty evident all the way through. Here's a good idea of what the composition would look like. It looks like this has sustained a little bit further damage to the shoulder. And then you can also see the cracks that go down the arm. But for the age of this doll, there's some cracks on the legs. But for the age of the doll, I think she has withheld time very, very well. There might be somebody out there that I can take this doll to have those cracks restored. But that's not something that I'm really willing to mess with, because sometimes restoration can also hurt the value of a doll if it's not done correctly, and so I'd need to find somebody that really knows what they're doing. She has an open mouth with some teeth. The tin in the eyes, they have yellowed just slightly. It's nothing all that serious, but her eyes still open and closed. She's a sleeping doll. I'm going to stick just a tiny bit. There's a little bit of rub on her eyebrows, but she does still have all of her eyelashes intact, which is something that's very unusual with these particular dolls, because on a composition doll, that means that they're they're very, very old. So to have those eyelashes still intact, that's I mean, maybe somebody along the way redid them, but you definitely can't tell. So let me show you that little rubbed marking on her back. And I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try to be really careful. It does look like her dress is a little bit big, so this might not actually belong to her. So I don't know if that's helpful to anybody. So it does look like there is some raised numbers here. This is definitely a 1. And this could be a 6 or a 5 or an 8. I'm not too sure. So even trying to look up tin-eyed dolls, it was a little bit hard to try to figure out a company. I guess it could have been Ideal, it could have been R&B, it could have been well, there's a couple other dolls that did have tin eyes, but nothing to where I could properly identify her. So I hope somebody out there can help me. She's a very pretty little doll. She's about, I would say, about 12 inches tall, and she does still have really tight. I was really surprised at the stringing on this doll, that it just tells me somebody has gotten in there and tightened it, because even her head, with the stringing, it is supposed to hold the pose when you put it there, and so it really does, it's really holding nicely. So on this arm, then you can kind of see a little bit of the crazing going on, the cracking going on. But like I said, as a whole, this doll is still very, very pretty. I can put her hair back into some kind of a pigtail possibly, and maybe find somebody to help restore her a little bit. Along with some of my other dolls, I have a Shirley Temple that needs a little bit of restoring, but I want to be very, very careful when I pick a person to restore. I want them to know what they're doing, because I don't want that restoration to hurt the value of the doll. So this is somebody I don't know. If anybody out there has any ideas who she might be or who she might be made from, please leave that in the comments for me. I'm always interested to put a name and a manufacturer next to the dolls that I don't know, instead of just having them sit on the shelf and they don't have a name. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.